Hey everybody, it's Ronn Grant, and you're watching Just for the Record. Stay tuned, you're watching 284 Media.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Mr. Lesmore Smith, welcome to Just for the Record.
Thank you, sir.
Father, husband, what's the word I'm looking for? Horseman,
Yes, sir.
enthusiast.
Thank you.
All right. And there are also persons who, because you can't please people, some might say he is unapproachable. I've also heard the term arrogant. When you hear those two terms, I'm sure the beginning are pleasant. But when you hear persons say stuff like arrogant, big-headed, or cocky to describe you, just for the record, what do you say to those claims?
To know one is to identify exactly, because if you look at reality, you're not always smiling, are you? But you're not an arrogant or big-headed person. I first met you at the high school. I didn't know you before. You came in silent. You just walk your way, and until I met you, get to know who you are. But to me, I would be the standout person if I don't know you, because you wasn't a smiling person. So maybe because we don't walk around with a smile, people
They call
blame
us arrogant.
Yes.
Okay. You have aligned yourself with the progressive Virgin Islands movement. Tell me why.
I think it's a good team. I know it's a good team. I think I have good values like theirs to share, like any other team. But that one gave me the opportunity, and I'm happy to serve with them.
Okay. Why should the people of the territory vote for you?
Because I over the years, I've been trustworthy, giving back to my community. From 2006, I started business in 2000, and from 2006 until present, I have personally, from the company perspective, give back to the community over $100,000 of what I've gained from this community. I'll give up my time and my service in law enforcement, security now for the past 20 years. And just the other day after the hurricane, I give back. I continue to give. Not that I'm asking the community to give me anything for what I've done, but believe at this point, I can give much more in helping and developing and reshaping, physically, mentally, otherwise, to make this community a better place for all of us.
Okay. There continues to be ever increasing laws that seem to put a strong hold on the BVI, especially in the financial services industry. How do you plan to work with your team to steer the BVI into a safer, more prosperous financial future?
We have to look at, when I was about 9 years old, that's when you get real grips of who you are as a person growing up. All I know was agriculture, which is fishing and farming. The BVI did well back then because we used to, as far as I know, remembering, my grandfather used to carry food stuff to St. Thomas back then, the provision from the ground. So we did at one point export stuff to our neighboring islands. Yes, we did the trading. We got back probably the milk or sugar, something else, but they were trading. So at the end of the day, I believe that based on what we have seen with Hurricane Irma, it's an eye-opener for all of us in a lot of ways. It shows that our financial services as well as other stuff could have go to naught.
Easily been taken away.
Yes, very easily. And knowing that all that is happening throughout the rest of the world, we have to make other provisions. We have to look at maybe developing other industries, sport tourism. I'm into horse racing.
Definitely.
And we have horse racing, which is Sunday coming again. And just alone that came up on the barge with the horses, 35 people, that's money coming into our revenue stream. because they stay in a hotel for the next 2 or 3 days. They're eating, they're driving. So that's a way we could look at that. I've heard that they're looking at the area of the tourism industry with the tourists, the cruise fare. But I would not put it at the cruise fare. Reason being, to make it more available for everybody to benefit from. I would say, why not develop Prospect Reef into an area where we could get a proper conference room, 200, 300 rooms, depending on what we could get there. Then if the tourists are here, it opened the door for the taxi men to take them there. So you open an industry where everybody can win.
Is the Prospect Reef development something you would like to explore if elected?
Yes,
Okay.
very much so. I think the opportunity for sport tourism, where we can host much more people. We have the complex, we're doing the rubberized track over now, we have Greenland Field. So we're going to have two major facilities that can facilitate a whole lot of sporting activities. And I believe that we know we don't have enough hotel rooms to accommodate those. So by having that developed, maybe down the road, we look at introducing a casino area. Because we have to look at viable ways for us to survive from the community end, from a territory end. We look at the Caribbean. Caribbean people love to travel, but they also want things to go to. And if we go from here to St. Martin, other places, other people to go gaming and other stuff. If we have that, we can have the same happen right across the waters. We have the Virgin Islands. So there are a whole lot of
You
things
touched
can happen.
on casinos just now, and I want to bring up a point. As you are a horse racing fanatic, what are your thoughts on parimutuel betting? And if elected, what will you do? What steps will you take to move us in that direction, or perhaps you don't support it?
I support it 100%. I understand that we are indeed a Christian society. And I
remind me to get back to the Christian society.
Okay. I understand indeed we are a Christian society. And those are one of the things I understand that create the pitfall from us not being advancing further with it. With the parimutuel betting, which I've been lobbying for the past couple of years. I myself have my religious, godly belief, and one day I would like to make it to heaven as well. But reality remains reality. They gamble for the robe of the master. So at the end of the day, we shouldn't stick our hair like the ostriches in the sand, don't think that these things happen. We have the ticket sales, we have the number sales. The government get nothing from it. If we open regularize and legalize the proper legislations that would enable us to have gaming to the next level, then government get revenue. Our high school right now is in chaos. Our senior citizens can do some help with their recovery as well and maintenance as well. So there's a whole lot we can do. There are a whole lot of kids go to sleep every night without a proper meal. We know for a fact that our industries are in some ways financially shaken. We have the RDA, we have to go even beg for what we get. So if we open other doors and other streams and avenues, it will give us the incentive to move forward as a territory in our own little way.
Okay. Just for the record, with Mr. Lesmore Smith, we'll be right back.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Before the break, you touched on the term Christian society. What does a Christian society mean to you? Because I've heard it before, and many candidates in sitting down with them have said, they're a Christian society. But in my observation, and I'm not saying that is not true at all, I'm not saying yes or no.
Okay.
With the issue of parimutuel betting, and we have some laws that I'm going to touch on that are possibly up for legalization. But what does a Christian society mean to you?
I think it's growing up into this community from a little boy. We take, especially on a Sunday, there was a limited amount of noise. Everybody would go to church, come back home, they'll cook, they'll eat. And not until sometime in the afternoon, you would hear the neighborhood beginning to speak, because they had this stable way about respect to God. We don't think we're ever going to lose that value. But we have to realize that we're still a growing society. We're a growing part of the rest of the world.
Okay.
And there are certain things we're going to have to shape and accept, but not taking us out of context with who we really are. So at the end of the day, we're going to have those little ups and downs, but we have to look at the picture of life.
Okay.
Are we going to sit there and pretend it don't happen? Or are we going to move forward positively and hoping that we can still maintain the goals of who really we are and trust to make it one day? Your belief, my belief will be different. So allow the person to live their belief, enjoy their aspect of their life. And hey, we are going to go to church, but not that we are serving God.
Okay.
So at the end of the day,
Speaking of beliefs, in that same breath, there are three very important issues that could be possibly up for legalization. And I'm going to ask you for a simple yes or no answer. And some persons I felt like they needed to, explain why. But when you're in the house, so you make it to the house, the speaker always says, those in favor, aye, those opposed, no. She doesn't say those in the middle. You can abstain, of course, right? So just so we could get your thoughts on whether you would support it if you are elected, all right? A legalization of marijuana or the decriminalization of marijuana.
Should I explain as well my feeling to that?
You tell me yes or no, and then if you want to...
I would say yes.
Okay.
There are values in every aspect of life. First, you have to ensure that it don't interfere. The legalization going to come with proper legislation to ensure the safety and the well-being of our young people first, because we have to protect them through any process that we're developing. So at the end of the day, we have to be sure that, one, we have the proper rules, regulations in place. We cannot allow it to come just a lavish society that you can be around every corner. But there are also beneficial values that can come into our through the tourism product for medical purposes.
Okay.
And I would say at the end of the day, there are benefits, but you have to ensure you put the proper legislations so it don't interfere with tearing the fabric of the society to naught.
Fair enough. Legalization of gay marriage.
Out the door for me.
All right. Legalization of abortion.
I would say yes and no, because it depends on how the person became pregnant.
Okay.
Because the person could get pregnant through a process of rape. That's not a fair way to them to live their life, remembering I have a child here that I didn't want. So you have to look at weigh the pros and the cons. So in everything, there's always the ups and the downs, but you have to understand the person also have a legal right, a constitutional right, to be able to be sure at the end of the day, they are protected in their own rights.
Thank you so much for your honesty, sir. I appreciate that. There's some questions that I enjoy asking my guests, and I don't know if they enjoy it, but it's pretty fun. I want the first response that comes to your mind. Do you have a celebrity crush?
Not really.
Okay. A secret talent?
Not really. I just live one day at a time.
Okay. Guilty pleasure?
Maybe sometimes.
Maybe sometimes? I'm asking you, what is the guilty pleasure?
I sometimes like go gaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A luxury you can't live without. For me, it's hot water.
I would say I haven't seen it. The reason being, we're from two different dimensions.
Of course. Two different times.
Generations.
Yes.
Right. At the end of the day, I'm used to from the coal fire to the nice electrical oven.
So would you say you've experienced both?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
All right.
So at the end of the day, I don't have a preference.
All right.
I can go through any
Someone from VI yesteryear, history, that is no longer around, that if you had the opportunity to take to lunch, who would it be?
I'll repeat that again.
Someone from VI history yesteryear that's not around. If you could take that person to lunch, who would it be?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. Your favorite food?
I love fish. I stick seafood all the time. I don't eat meat and stuff.
Fish, prepared anyway?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Mr. Lesmore Smith, thank you so much, just for the record.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's some great ideas. So we gonna have some lobster?
Hello?
Wait, you had a long time weekend? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.